the MacBook Pro M3, maxed out. Let's talk about it. All right, so we've got the MacBook Pro M3 maxed out here, and we're just gonna do a little unboxing, maybe talk about some things I'm expecting it to do for me, some of the problems I'm having, which is the reason why I'm even wanting to get something like this, and just to talk about my experiences after 15 years of not having a Mac laptop at all. So it's been a long time in the PC world, but for a whole lot of reasons, I need something with a little bit more power. So hence, here we are. And I got a couple of notes, and we're going to stick to the script a little bit here. Just go straight from the notes and just talk about what I've gone through to get this thing to where the research is concerned, and maybe, give you some information you didn't know yourself. So, like I said, it's been 15 years since I've had a Mac, and a lot's changed in the time that I had my last MacBook Pro. I think the last MacBook Pro I had was the '09 MacBook Pro. Is that 15 years? I think that's 15 years. Maybe 14. But regardless, so it was 2009 when I had the last MacBook Pro that I ever bought myself. And that was an awesome machine. It was bigger. I think it might have been 17 inches. They were doing 15 and 17 inches back then, and I got the 17-inch model. And it was awesome. It worked out for everything I needed to do. I was in school at the time, so it was an excellent school machine. So it did that, editing. I was doing programming at the time too, so it handled everything I threw at it. Awesome machine, no regrets whatsoever. But in the post-Steve Jobs era, I didn't purchase any Mac laptops. I kind of got into PC because of the gaming aspect of it. And I thought, well, since I'm gaming, I might as well just spec up my PC just to handle the editing as well. And that's worked out a little bit. It's worked out a little bit so far. So I've had some problems, and I'm hoping that this purchase right here will solve a lot of those issues. So let's get right into that. So the first thing is software. Apple has one of the best editing software that you can, or editing apps on the market. And Final Cut Pro is used by people in Hollywood. It's used by professionals who do indie work. It's used by yours truly now. And there's no subscription. So it's one of the few editing softwares that you can, or why am I calling them softwares? Like that's a thing. That's not even a word. Let's get it together. It's one of the few editing apps that you can get that there's no subscription. So, man, I just, in this age of everything being subscription based, editing software has just gone that way too. And it's getting expensive. So I figure one $300 purchase will cover me for a year's worth of software that I would be subscribing to. And, I wouldn't have to pay that fee after that first year to pay for itself. So that's the common thought for this particular purchase when it comes to software. And I like Final Cut. I dealt with Final Cut back in the day. Actually, I started with, not GarageBand, iMovie. And from iMovie, I moved to Final Cut. And it was a seamless transition. Everything was so intuitive, well-placed. Didn't have any problems finding things and knowing what they did once you did find them. It was awesome. So I'm looking forward to getting back to that kind of environment. All right, so the next thing I have on my list is more power. I needed a more capable video editing machine. And though my PC is more than capable for gaming, Ryzen 7 5800X, RX 7800 XT, a 1TB NVMe drive, and 32 gigabytes of RAM, the MacBook just has more. More RAM at 64 gigabytes, a faster processor with more cores, my PC with 8 cores running at 3.2 megahertz, versus the Mac with 12 cores and running at 4.0 megahertz, and a faster data pipeline. My PC at PCIe 3.0 speeds, which is 4 gigabits a second, versus the MacBook Pro's 400 gigabits a second. You can see where this is going. My PC just struggles with making more intricate productions. That also comes into play when you want to get more creative. Like times when you want to get super involved and you want to add layers onto stuff. Like you want titles and you want motion in the titles. And then you want to maybe create your own backdrop for something or create your own animation for something, and then you want to add more titles onto that, and maybe you want to add some cutouts, maybe you want to add some masks. So there's lots of things that you can do that's going to bog your workflow down, and those kind of things I love getting into, seriously love getting into them. The problem is every time I would try to do that, my PC would have a problem with keeping up with me. And that's a huge problem when you're trying to get creative and when you're a creative person. Like you want to do all of these things and you expect the technology to just keep up with you. But when it lags behind, it stifles the creativity. It almost makes you want to not do those things. I know it makes me not want to do certain things. Like I'll be in a production and I'm just like, okay, well, I want to add this, this, and this, and I'll have the outline of everything laid out in my head, and then I'll get to doing it, and the PC would just like, or not the PC, but my PC particularly, would start to just lag behind. I would have to wait for it to make certain edits. I would have to wait for the marker to scrub through. It's just a lot of waiting involved. And when you think about all the waiting and the time that it takes to do that, I'm like, well, that'll take me another hour to do that with all the waiting and such, or I can just have it done right now. And maybe it takes longer than an hour for the waiting because there are other hiccups that come up. So there are ways for technology to kind of stifle your creativity when it's lagging behind your thought process. So I'm hoping that this particular computer solves that problem for me. And those are all bandwidth related issues. So if you edit and you know what's involved in editing, then you know how important that bandwidth is. And if you don't know, you better ask somebody. All right, so looking at the notes, it says now it's time to do some unboxing. So let's go ahead and take this thing out. But first, I want to talk about this bag. So I haven't gotten a Mac in a long time, like I said. And when I was buying Macs back in the day, they came in a plastic bag, plastic handles. And now, granted, the plastic was nice. It looked like a bag you could throw on your back, like a backpack, and throw your book bags, or, oh, your book bags. Oh, why would you throw book bags in a book bag? Throw your books in there. So it was a really sturdy looking bag. The straps held really nicely, very well made. So when I saw this, I was like, okay, it's a departure from the plastic they were using, but they went with paper. So highly recyclable, and it just feels good. And because it's so highly recyclable, it just feels good to the soul. So you can feel good all around about that. Also, another thing about this, these straps here are actually paper as well. So I don't know how they did it. It feels like a polyester, like a plastic of some kind. But it's really nice, really durable. It really feels good. So I'm stunned that it's paper. I saw that on the bottom of this bag because I was looking over this bag, every inch of it, just combing through it. Can you comb through a bag? You can't. All right, so let's go ahead and take it out of this bag here. All right. And here's what we have here. I mean, this is an unboxing, but I'm just gonna talk about stuff. So I do like when people unbox things and they have the microphone super close. You get the ASMR, you know what I mean? We'll try it. I'm not good at this, I admit, but we'll try it. Okay, so just keep continuing on with the outside before we do open it though. Oh, they got my name on it. You gotta love that. When your name's on stuff, it just feels good. I don't know why, it just does. And also something I noticed too, that the specs used to be on the outside. One of the more shorter corners. I think this is the length, the width. So on the width side, there would always be a sticker with the specs on it. It looks like they've changed that to the bottom of the box now. So let's look at the specs. All right, so looking at the specs here, we have a 14-inch MacBook Pro M3 Max. We got 64 gigabytes of RAM and a 40-core GPU and a 1 terabyte hard drive. So that's what we're working with here. Let's go ahead and open her up, shall we? We'll go ahead and try to see if the microphone can get the ASMR for you. I doubt it, but we're gonna try it anyway. Let's do it. I know that was the slowest pull ever. We'll do better this time. Let's do it. So it's just like paper tearing. Before it was like a perforated thing, and maybe that was perforated, but it was so tight on the edge, and the edge is so sharp that it would have just torn it off anyway. But all right, let's go ahead and take a look here. All right, what do we got? Get rid of that top. All right, and we're gonna just pull her out. Oh, I like it. You know what? I gotta talk about the color. So I chose the gray because I'm old school and that's all you could get back in the day. There were no colors. You think Steve Jobs would have let colors into the facility? No, he wouldn't have. So they waited till he passed away to do all of that effery. And here we are. But I stuck with the old school classic gray. You can't get no better than that. Especially since they're handing out white cables with black laptops. Ridiculous. Somebody should be shot. But we'll move on. Oh, I'm messing up the ASMR with my talking. I'm sorry. All right. So here's the computer. Let's put the computer to the side. We'll come back. All right. And looks like we have a really nice braided white cable. Like I said, the cables are still white. Even if you get a black laptop, you get a white cable. Crazy. Who does that? Apple does it. Post Steve Jobs. Moving on. So I like it though. It feels good. It's how it should be. The silver with the white. Oh, and what else we got here? We got a designed in Apple. We got, what is this, a manual? It's probably stickers and some legal talk documentation in here. I don't even know what this. Now, this is ridiculous. Now, if they put this thing in that box, and can you see this? There's a piece there that's like really thick, like a disc goes in there or something, or maybe they have manuals in there. There better be manuals in there. If there's nothing in there, I'm not gonna do anything, but I'll be upset. You know what? There's nothing there. It's just a bunch of empty space for them to make this thing look good. Why? If you didn't have enough to put in there, don't put a thing. This could have been done in like a folder. We didn't need a box for this. Crazy. Anyway. And they're like, oh, we save so much space on the ships with the container, but you're still packing this stuff for no reason. Who cares about your ships? All right, so we got the brick here. I think this is a 90 watt brick right here. 95 watt. Let's check it out. Let's open this thing up. Do we care about ASMR with the brick? Of course not, but we're going to do it anyway. Oh, I'm terrible at this. Is this 90 watts? Okay, 90 watts. We're good to go. All right. So 90 watt charger there. And that's all that's in the box. So we're just going to fit this nicely back up in there. I'm just going to throw all this stuff back in there. There's really no need to have this. I won't make you sit through this. We'll edit this part out. Or will we? Hey, everybody. I'm just going to interrupt here real quick. This guy has no clue right now. He should not have left me to edit this. Who knows what's going to happen. I just wanted to say, go ahead, throw him a like, subscribe, give him some encouragement. He's super new. He could use it. He's just doing some stuff. He likes to talk about technology, and that's what he's going to do. You can count on him to do that. You can also count on him to get way too close to the lens, which is why I had to interrupt. His forehead is not normally looking that, like right there. Whoa. He got way too close to the lens. It's kind of like shrinkage, but for cameras and lenses. So you got to be careful. Like I said, go ahead and like, subscribe, show him some encouragement. All right, shh, he's coming back. All right, and we're back like we never left. Welcome back. I just looked at this thing and there was a spot on it. I almost lost my shit. I'm like, what? A spot? Hell no. But I rubbed it and I rubbed it out. No pun intended. And then I just saw another spot. So let me just make sure I can rub this one out too. That was a pun intended. Let's just check this out. Okay, that came off too. Whew. Listen, I don't want no problems with Apple. I really don't. But I would have had to go there and do something. I don't know. So I like it. The look is just crazy. It's better than what I thought it was going to be. I love the fact that they kept the, I don't know what they call it, but they're sharp edges now, where the edges used to be rounded for a long time. It got on my nerves. I'm glad they returned to form on this. This definitely looks like one of the old school MacBook Pros. I got a MacBook Pro at the right time, apparently. So anyway, I like the fact that they have the air vents at the bottom. This wasn't a thing. Wow, would you look at that? It's like, engraved into the bottom of the MacBook. That's awesome. That's crazy. I love that. I mean, they've done engraving at the bottom of, okay. So there's no engraving at the bottom here. This used to be engraved. A little bit made in California used to be an engraved thing. I don't even think there was a MacBook Pro at the bottom. There definitely was not. The feet are different too. I like that. The air intakes make it look, I don't know, super like mean. I like that a lot. So the notes say we should be looking at the ports right now. So let's take a look. We got two, what is that? USB-C. We got two USB-C on this side with a headphone port right there, a 3.5, and then we have the MagSafe connected there, which is a lot wider than what I remember as well. Yeah, it was a lot wider and a lot thinner and thicker. This is a lot wider and thinner. They just went a different route with this right here, but still good. Still good. I like it. USB-C, obviously. I'm glad they joined the rest of the world and started putting USB-C on everything. I mean, I think they've been doing it for the MacBooks for a while, but they just recently jumped on board with the iPhones. I think that's great. So, opening it up. All right, whoa. Whoa. So, opening it up, we got the little paper here, which Apple does. I like that sound that it makes when it turns on as well. Oh, you got the hello. That's great. That's awesome. All right, so we get the greeting screen, and just looking at it off the top here, I like the big trackpad. Now, I was in the Apple store when I went to go pick this thing up, and I saw the 16-inch, and the trackpad was massive. It made me jealous. But then I saw how big the thing was, and I thought, what y'all put that in your lap? Where are you going with that thing? It's huge. So I like the small form factor, very portable. It's a powerhouse in a very small frame. I love it. But anyway, back to the trackpad. Huge trackpad on the 16-inch. So if you want a big, gigantic trackpad, it's bigger than what it should be. It's excessive. That's the only way to put it. All right, so the grills on here are smaller than the 16-inch as well. And that may affect the sound. It's a laptop. Who cares? So right here, you got the fingerprint reader, which is nice. They didn't have those when I was rocking MacBooks back in the day. I do like the black keyboard though. The whole thing is black. It's not like inset in a gray outline or a gray frame for the keys, which is what it used to be. I like this solid black color for the whole keyboard. Phenomenal. They've done a really good job of just refining this product. I don't like this notch though. Can we talk about that for a second? I'm not a notch fan. That's why I don't do the iPhone like that. It's just, I don't know. That just looks crazy. I know that they're probably going to put a border around here so you won't even see the notch. I'll know it's there though. You can believe I'll know it's there, and it'll bother me. I don't know why, but it will. I think that's it. I mean, this is, it's hopefully going to solve my problem. I'm hoping to get to editing on this system and feel the creative freedom that I wanted to feel with my PC, and just it kind of lagged behind on me. Like I said,
the main language. Press the return key.
What are we doing? Is Siri active already on here? Just calm down. Calm down, Siri. So I'm hoping that it frees me up from that, and I can just be as creative as I want to be, throw as many effects, throw as many masks, titles, transitions, animations in that I want, and not feel like, oh, that's going to take freaking forever. And it may, but it won't be because the system. It'll be because I'm being so creative. And that is the idea I want to get behind. All right, you guys. This has been a first look at the MacBook Pro M3 Max. I'll check back in to let you guys know what I think about it. I'll do a review down the road when I've had a chance to edit on it, see what it's like, talk crap about it. If crap needs to be talked, I'll do it. I'll do it. So thank you for watching. Subscribe if you want to see more. Like if you liked it. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Take care.